71 years ago, on December 7th, 1955, six brave black men in Greensboro, North Carolina, set out to make a difference during segregation in the South. The six men wanted to integrate Gillespie Golf Course, a golf course for only white people. Those men were Dr. George Simpkins, Philip Cook, Elijah Herring, Samuel Murray, Leon Wolfe, and Joseph Sturdivant. The men decided one day to go to Gillespie Golf Course, pay their 75-cent fees, and play golf. Despite paying their fees, the men were harassed throughout the game.
Well, when the six men walked on into the Gillespie clubhouse, they put down their fees, their 75-cent green fee at the time, signed the register, and, you know, right before they were trying to sign the register to play at the course, the course attendant working at the counter snatched the sign-in book away from them and told them, "You can't play here." And so they just put their 75 cents down and walked out, didn't listen to the guy. And then the irate golf pro of the course caught up with them a few holes later and told my dad, "What are you here for? What is your cause?" And my dad, and the guy said, "Why are you here?" And my dad just responded to the golf pro and says, "We're here for the cause of democracy."
Chris Simpkins is the son of George Simpkins, a local dentist who is the leader of the group. Chris says he first learned about his father and the five men when he was 8 years old.
Yeah, a pro apparently called a deputy sheriff, and they were following the men around for a few holes, and my dad said he was terrified. He was so scared that he didn't want to put his club back in his bag because he thought that he might be harmed, and he wanted to have something in his hand ready to defend himself. He was rattled, he was shaking, and after 9 holes, they were so mentally exhausted that they played 9 holes and then left. And then hours later, a black policeman showed up at my dad's house, and police officers showed up at all of the six men's homes that evening and arrested them for trespassing. They were taken up to the jail and booked, and my grandfather bailed them out of jail, and there's the one photograph of all of the golfers together that's a famous photograph with my dad on the right side of the golfers there just as they were being released from jail.
He says the driving force behind the men's actions were the obvious disparities between Noco Park, the blacks-only golf course, versus Gillespie. The city of Greensboro didn't maintain Noco Park like they did Gillespie. After attempts were made to open Gillespie to black people after a court ruling, 2 weeks later, Gillespie's clubhouse mysteriously burned down, preventing the course from integrating. And Dr. Simpkins received death threats for him and the five men's actions.
He apparently got a lot of death threats through the mail, and I saw one letter that my mom had saved in a scrapbook of things, and I was looking for it, and it was addressed to our house shortly after the golfers went out on the golf course. And it said, "I know what you did, and you will pay for it. You will die." And it was an exclamation point. I also know that he would get harassing death threat telephone calls, and sometimes, they would be coming very frequently. I don't know that he was confronted in person with any kind of threat from people, but he certainly received a lot of death threats via mail and the telephone.
It took the city 2 years to rebuild the courthouse after the fire and reopen Gillespie. And after some court rulings, Gillespie was required by law to allow African Americans to golf there. On December 7th, 1962, exactly 7 years after the six men attempted to integrate Gillespie, the course was integrated, and Dr. Simpkins teed off at the newly integrated golf course. He was the first African American to do so. Simpkins' name became well known in later years, fighting for civil rights for Black people.